feel about the future of small farming in this area?
I would sure hope there's a place for them in the future of America. You know, I don't think you can have all big business running everything and a bunch of slaves working for them, because that's what it's really like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would say one thing, being on the dairy end of it, when they give out volume premiums for milk to the big farms, to me that's wrong. It's nothing but white-collar crime. And you're asking the small farmer to subsidize the big farmer because he's such a poor operator. And that's what really amounts to it. And yet, they're supposed to be more efficient than we are because they can buy all their inputs cheaper, supposedly, because they buy them in bulk, mass, quantities. I think it's a crock. You know?
So how
feel about the same.
How large is your farm? How many acres is it?
I got about 210 acres.
210 acres. And how many cows do you have?
We're milking about 80 right now.
I'm milking about 80 cows, 90 total, including dry cows. Probably have about 180 head around, including all the replacements and offspring.
How do you feel about the bovine growth hormones, the growth hormones that are being used on cattle?
Never have used it. Never really liked the idea. I think it'd be like a human being taking speed. I think it's going to get to you. You might run faster at first, but you're not going to run very long. And as far as it ending up in the food chain, I can tell you it doesn't. I don't believe that. I think it ends up there somewhere. It's bound to.
From your operation, how do you feel about the state support and the government support?
I don't know as if state-wise, I don't know. The state of Michigan as a whole, I don't know as if they're supporting us that much. Maybe they are with land use, I don't know. Maybe, in some areas. I wish they would probably do a little bit more to keep these areas agricultural. I don't think you can have people building all over the country, a house here, a house there, a Myers here, whatever. I think it has to be in certain areas. They don't just take the poor land, they're taking the best land.
There is a tremendous amount of housing pressure in this area. People want to move out from the city for a variety of reasons. Often it's the school systems, or they simply want to have some elbow room, so to speak. They want to come out and buy their 10 acres and plop their house in the middle of it, and it's become sort of the American dream. Unfortunately, it puts a lot of pressure on farmland values, and quite frankly, it's almost impossible for me to purchase any land now to use for farming. It usually is priced so high that it's not practical for me to attempt to purchase it to farm. So yeah, that's a big problem. I think that we're doing some things to address that. We'll be doing some things to address that. The general populace is starting to realize that we're squandering a very important resource. If we can get some regional planning put together, townships, counties, governments working with one another to target this growth, that's fine. We're not anti-growth. I'm not anti-growth. I understand the need for that. But we need to do it in a responsible manner so that we don't just chew through this wonderful land resource that we have in Michigan.
There's been a lot of houses built in the area, it seems like, in the country in the last 5 years. They did put a subdivision in uptown, a new one, and they've done a nice job with it, and that's where it belongs. They should be up there.
Do you feel any housing, like any subdivisions in this area?
Well, there's one right straight through, about a mile away.
Is it a concern?
I'd rather have them there than out along here. Down the road, I don't know. So far, no problem.
Not so far.
I've been asked to sell lots. People tried to buy lots from me. I never even had them quote a price because I don't want to sell it. I want to stay in farmland, whether I'm farming or somebody else.
No, I don't see a lot of people going into farming just because they don't want to really put a lot of hours. I don't know. I guess they don't want to put a lot of hours in it and have no guarantee of making it. Because I was the only kid in my class going into any ag business, and there was nobody in the grade before me, nobody in the grade behind me. And so I think you gotta like it. I mean, there's a lot of jobs out there you can work 40 hours a week and have your weekends off and still make decent money, and I think that's the way a lot of people want to go. Because in farming, there's no guarantee. You can put a lot of hours in, and you put a lot of faith in the weather that things will work out for you.
What made you decide to go into farming?
Oh, because I like cows. I can walk 100 yards outside my front door, and there's my workplace. I don't have to drive any place. I just walk right out there, and it's there, and I like doing it. If it's not something to do if you don't like doing it. Nobody likes. If you don't like farming, you're not gonna like walking through manure, I guess. I mean, nobody likes getting dirty if they don't have to.
So so you plan to be taking over your father's farm?
I plan on it.
Yeah. Is there any kind of concerns that you have?
I have one concern only, and that's paying for it. And that's about all I care about. I don't care how it gets paid for as long as it gets paid for.
Think there's going to be any kind of help in the paying for it?
I don't know. I just plan on working a lot, and I'll sacrifice going on vacations. I don't need a lot of stuff to make me happy. I just want to get it paid for.
Talking about vacation time, how much vacation time has there been?
In the month of February, I think I missed 2 morning milkings. In the month of January, I was gone 1 day. Well, I was actually gone a Saturday and Sunday, but I came back Sunday and milked. In the summer, our family went up to Mackinac for 3 days. That's all I need.
How often do you milk?
I milk every morning. He helps me. He does other stuff, and then
Sometimes at night and sometimes part-time. Not a lot of hired labor. If I didn't think he would make it, I guess I would really try to discourage him. But since he's willing to try, I'm gonna try to work with him. And quite frankly, my father never wanted to see any of us farm. And I worked in the factory for a while. It just kind of made me more determined. And there's days I wished I'd have stayed there, but there's days I'm glad I'm not there. So that's with anything in life. There's trade-offs.
How many generations are there in farming?
Well, my father owned this place first, and then I do now. And I was born here, 53 years old. So.
1946 is when they came to this farm.
Are you part of any organizations? Any farming organizations?
I always participate in any of the farm programs because I learned a long time ago they make the rules. And if you don't play by their rules, you're not going to play ball. If there's any money available, if you don't take it, somebody else will. So you might as well take it. And a lot of times there's strings, but they have to have rules also. There has to be rules in life, or you have nothing.
are kind of learning that we're going to have a lot more ups and downs than probably what we did in the past when we had a lot more government intervention. And we're going to have to learn to save a little bit during the good times to help us through times like these. And I think farmers are probably doing that, adjusted to that.
Between them, you can hold about 30,000 pounds now. And how often do you milk? Is it twice a day?
Yeah, we just milk twice a day.
What time does it usually milk?
4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon.
4 in the morning you start? How many do you milk at one time?
Well, there's 18 milkers in here.
18.
Andy just got out of the Ag Tech program at Michigan State.
Oh, really?
That Joe Domick runs. I don't know if you know Joe or not. Okay, it's that 2-year short course, dairy short course. And he just got out of that. He interned here, and then he decided to come back, and he works both here and over to his dad's place. And I think one of the two places he's going to end up farming over to. Or maybe he'll run them both. Who knows? Maybe they'll both be together by then.
You interned here? So you're looking to go into dairy farming then, right?
Yep. I guess so. That's the plans anyway.
That's your plan. So do you have any concerns or anything as you go into it, or you're doing your own farm?
Well, where are you going to get the money? That's a big thing.
What kind of money concerns do you have? In what areas?
Well, you gotta buy cows and stuff like that to get in, and someplace you gotta come up with cash flow, so you can buy cows or land or equipment or whatnot to get yourself started. Right now we're going through that problem right now. So.
Maybe you're taking over your father's farm?
Right now, working on that, getting in there, get my foot in the door someplace.
And how many cows does your father own?
Right now, with all